Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Know Your Promoter. In this, we try and talk to promoters of the companies which are going public, understand from them the company's details, why the company is going public, the vision behind it, and just some of the inside scoops with respect to the company. On this, today we have Ravi with us, who is the managing director for Osel Devices, the IPO for which is opening on 16th of September and is going to remain open till 20th September. So without much ado, let me hand it over to Ravi. Do you want to go ahead and talk about your company? What does your company do and your background a bit in a very high level?
Fine. We are a company registered in 2006 August, and since then we have had a long journey into multiple fields, and now currently we are into manufacturing of hearing aids and LED displays. We set up our factory or manufacturing unit, which is an electronic manufacturing unit, in 2019, and since then we have been doing pretty good in terms of business, in terms of growth and all.
Got it. So, Ravi, you said the company does hearing aids as well as LEDs. At the very high level, the two divisions do not look interrelated. Can you talk to me about how the two divisions are related? Is there any technology which is similar across both?
Right. So basically, while it sounds to be two different industrial vertical altogether, but at the back of it, both are electronic product. And since we are an electronic technology company, we are into electronic manufacturing from ideation, design, development, and production. All is an electronic process, and both the processes are same for both the product. So that way, it are related. But the moment it is finished, the production is done, it's packaged. Now it goes to a different customer base altogether. But till that time, so till the time it is within our factory range, it is electronic product for us.
Got it. And can you, is this majorly B2B that you do? Is it majorly white labeling, or do you also have your own brand which you sell through?
Right. So we have our own brand when it comes to LED segment. We are selling our LEDs with the brand name of Osel. For hearing aids, so far our business has been restricted to government tenders and white labeling and wholesale market. We will soon be coming up with our brand product for retail market as well, and there, of course, our brand will be coming in. It will be with the Osel brand itself.
Got it. That's helpful. Over to you, Rohit, to ask a few follow-up questions.
Thanks, Manish. So Ravi, just one question, since you mentioned that you guys do manufacturing. I think one confusion or one perception people have in India is whenever there is electronics and electronic products in India, people think that companies just import things from China. They largely just package and brand and they sell. But I know that from what I understand from Osel, from what I've read in the RHP, you guys are an end-to-end manufacturer. So can you just help us understand how much of what you do is, you can classify as manufacturing? How much of what you do is imported, of the parts that you take are imported versus made in-house, and how much of the final product would say is like manufactured versus assembled versus imported?
Fine. So you rightly mentioned that we are end-to-end manufacturing, which means all the manufacturing and production process is done here locally in India. Well, yes, of course, when it comes to component or chips or ICs, which are electronic components, we do have to import it because they are not locally available in India. Basically, they're not locally manufactured currently, but soon coming forward with semicon industry picking up, maybe we will have that locally done. But till the time we are importing components, but other parts in terms of fabrication, in terms of manufacturing, in terms of electronic assembly and packaging, local plastic parts, everything is being done locally here. So we are procuring everything locally. More so, our electronics is not just product or hardware, it is more of technology. So all the design, development, application, software that goes into it, everything is done locally here in India. So we have our own technology team who is doing all that. So
understood. That is very helpful.
Yeah.
Understood. Basically, you guys do everything from design to manufacturing to the final product. The software, the technology, everything happens here in-house.
We have a very strong R&D team in-house, and we have our own in-house software team as well.
Understood. So my understanding from the LEDs that you provide, it's largely niche use cases. It's these, it's not the LEDs that most people would associate with either mobile phone, used in a mobile phone or used in TVs. Is that something that, when I say TVs, I mean the consumer TVs that we would use at home. Is that also a segment that you have ever considered, or do you feel that this is the niche that you are in?
No, so we are not considering consumer market as of now. Basically, we are not getting into personal televisions that you have at your home and all those things. That's already a crowded market, and well-established players are already in that field, and we don't see ourselves going into that line. We will stick ourselves into professional display market, and that's what we call it. So, these products are already have a large market segment actually, so we'll stick to it.
Understood. I'll just get into some of the points that I picked up from your RHP. So one thing that you've mentioned is you have an order book now of, I think, close to 45 crores, which you already have, and another 70 crores, which are under discussion, which is about 120 crore order book. In what time frame would you deliver this order book, and how does this order book work? Are they mostly tender driven? Is it sales cycle driven? Do you have a sales team that goes and wins these orders? So can you just explain a little bit about this order book and how investors should read this order book?
So most of these orders will be done by the end of December 24. We'll be able to close all these orders with us. And when we say order book, it is mostly tenders that are upcoming or that we have participated and we are already won. So these are the tenders like that. When it comes to, we have not mentioned what is expected out of the private sector market. So that will be an additional business that we'll be targeting to.
Okay, got it. So this is simply your government tender order book. This is not any of the private.
Whatever has been, because that's what we have been, because private sector orders are not long term. So we know if there's something next month, we will know it now.
Understood. Okay, those are slightly more short lead time. Understood. That's clear. Another sort of related question is about 80% of your sales comes from your top 5 customers. Can you just help us understand what kinds of customers are these? Are these distributors? Is this government agencies? Just to give a sense on, because it looks a little concentrated. How should we read that number?
Fine. So as I mentioned, we are majorly working with the government and government tenders. We are participating in that. We have been able to execute largest of the orders of government. Well, largest order for hearing aid from the government sector is under RKT, so we have executed that. Even for hearing aids, one of the largest order of the government is also executed by us. So what happens is when such large orders of 30 crores, 28 crores are there, so top 10 customers would actually cover for most of the orders. And additionally, rest of the business we also do through partners, and there are some large partners, large distributors that we have who provide us larger orders, because most of the regular orders will come through them. So that way, basically, this accumulates to that, but eventually the product is going on to the multiple customers. So customer base is vast, final customer base is vast, but yes, we have dealers and partners between who account for our top 10 customers.
Got it. Basically, this is a channel, and there is no risk per se to this channel being disintermediated in some way.
Not yet. Yeah.
Okay, understood. And probably a related question is, today, I think exports are a very small part of your business. I've seen that in your growth, at least in your growth statements, you do want to focus on exports more and more. Can you just help our investors understand what do you mean? What are you looking at on the export front?
So the products basically we are into is majorly dominated by China, especially the LED business. So most of the LED screens going across the world is produced in China basically, and we see a good advantage here for us being a manufacturer, a complete end-to-end manufacturer here in India, because everybody is looking for China plus one. They all are looking for alternates to China, and we see a good advantage there for us. And we will certainly be targeting international market, and we have already started representing ourselves in international expos related to these products.
Understood. And so is there any?
We'll soon have good customer base internationally as well.
Got it. Are you targeting for your business a certain percentage of your revenue to come from exports? Is there any goals that you have set internally?
We are not ready with the numbers now. We are working hard towards achieving those things.
Understood. My next set of questions are probably around your business, your P&L and your cash flow statement, just to get some clarity there. I think you have shown some phenomenal performance, especially on the bottom line side. Your PAT has gone from 5 to nearly 10% PAT in the last year. What is the reason for the same, and how sustainable is this? Because that is a very common question people have when they see, before the IPO. People want to understand how sustainable the PAT is. And a sort of related question is, what is your relative margin profile between your LED business and your hearing aid business? And are the margins similar, or is there some difference?
Fine. So margins are growing because the scale of business is growing, and we are able to manage within the same investment or same infrastructure that we have been maintaining it for last 3-4 years. So you would see there is not much capital investments apart from there is no capital investment, plant and machinery now. So within the same setup, we are able to extract more revenue or more top line, which improves our margins, which improves our bottom line as well.
Understood. And what about your relative margins between categories? Is there any difference in gross margin and net final margin between hearing aids and the
Yes,
other
of course.
categories?
I would not be able to tell you numbers here, but it is very certain that hearing aids comes up with a larger portion of profitability. The margin share of
Okay.
hearing aids is much compared to what LEDs could bring. But both the product has got reasonable margins. They're healthy margins,
Got it.
basically.
Understood. Last question related to this, just on the cash flow. We noticed that in this last financial year, you have turned cash flow positive. This also had to do with a spike in the trade payables. So is this again something sustainable? Is this because of new terms that you might have with your suppliers where you can pay them a little later? Just to get comfort on whether this is a sustainable improvement in cash flow.
Yeah, the improvements are sustainable because we had investments. We have been investing more into bringing in more business, building up our team, and all those things was happening. But now with the orders coming up, the new scale happening, the order book and orders that we have executed brought more profitability, so which brings us into positive side of the cash flow.
Understood. Okay. I think from my side, Manish, I don't have anything else on the RHP. Maybe you can just wrap up with the last couple of questions.
Thank you so much, Rohit. And thank you, Ravi, for patiently answering some of our questions. I'll just wrap it up with a couple of questions, as Rohit said. Just wanted to understand from you, are there any fundamental policy tailwinds which you feel which will help you? I understand China Plus One is at a global level, but from the government level, is there any support which you feel on the hearing aid division or on the LED division which you feel will help you?
Of course, we have been relying on government tenders as well, and we have been doing good in that field. And we are expecting that government expenditure on these lines are growing day to day with the Digital India initiative, smart cities coming up. A lot more business can come up from the government sector. And of course, there is advantage for us being a local manufacturer, being a Make in India initiative supporter. Basically, we are getting good advantage from government tenders also, both in terms of what you call preferences and other things that is available for this. So yes, there is good advantage for us.
Got it. That's very helpful. And I was looking at your working capital calculations. It suggested somewhere around 200 CR turnover for this year. Now that 5 months are in, which is essentially 50% growth YOY, I just wanted to understand from you, how's the business been coming along? Are you on track to reach that number, or any vision which you would want to provide us in the short term as well as in the long term for our investors? You don't need to answer this in terms of particular numbers, but just a high level vision.
I think we are pretty much on track, and we will be able to achieve whatever we are targeting. So pipeline is there, good pipeline is there. So achieving what we are expecting to target, and of course we have another 6 months. We might be doing much better than that.
Got it. And as we let you go, any departing words, final thoughts per se, which you would want to express?
Thank you, everyone, and I would thank my investors also for joining in, and maybe with our hard work, with our dedication, we will try to be good to we'll try to bring good ROI to them, basically. That's what we can say right now.
Thank you so much. So I'll just repeat some of the IPO information. The IPO is opening on 16th of September and is going to remain open till 19th of September, 20th of September.
19th, actually.
19th of September. So definitely go through the DRHP, understand the risk reward, and apply basis that. Thank you so much, Ravi, for joining with us today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ravi.